We're good? Awesome. Cool. Okay, well, welcome to another episode of Comic Shop Talk. This is a little different. We're not going to be interviewing anybody. We're just going to kind of be talking about happenings around the shop, any upcoming books, any announcements that have been shaking the comic book community. My name's Jose. I'm your host, and I'm here with Jake Motzinger, one of the owners of Memory Lane Comics and Tyler.
Sounds like you weren't sure what his last name was.
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
I was like, I thought I'd known this guy for a long time.
Well, I didn't know if we were doing last names in this.
I want people creeping on me on social media.
It's too late for that. Cool. So, more than anything, I think I've been I've been wanting to talk about blind bags. There's a
We've been trying to collectively figure out our feelings about blind bags.
Yeah.
And
some of us more publicly than others. I think.
and Jose's been on a warpath,
on a literal tear,
trying to sort it out. And there's a lot to talk about here from a retail perspective, from a distribution perspective, from a consumer perspective. I think the number one thing here is feeling like we're potentially a part of a predatory type of publishing, and our store is against that, but we also like fun things, and it can be fun, and so figuring out a way to navigate this where we're actively talking some people out of buying more
and
of these things.
It's kind of nuts because we actively at least try to carry Pokemon booster packs and stuff, and a lot of people compare this to pulling cards, ripping packs open. But when it comes to comics, it kind of feels like it goes very much against how we approach things, how we have been approaching things. Like we've had to talk people out of, like completionists, out of collecting every cover for every ASM and every Batman. And
even buying an action figure they don't like because they want to complete a line.
Right.
We are anti that. We want you to own what you want.
Yeah.
And not get caught up in the trap of like either completing something because you feel like you have to, and if you want to, totally cool.
For sure.
We don't want to we're just trying to make sure people don't get caught up in something, and I think that's
It's also impossible to collect everything though.
It is
with the ratios and the store exclusives and
the Emerald City Comic Con cover that they only made 200 of.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. You were in Seattle. You suck.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so it's kind of like it's I was going to say it's uncharted territory, but it's getting charted very, very fast.
Yeah.
I knew that when Battle Beast did its thing, it was only a matter of time before publishers started.
Yeah, let's give a recap here.
Okay, yeah, so this all began, well, I guess it's happened before, but the first really big, viral, successful launch of an incentive like this was with Invincible Battle Beast #1.
I think they tested it out on. There was a lot of Whatnot ones last year where you could get different foil special reprints of things. But this Battle Beast was the first.
It was out in the public. Like the anything prior was still very niche, and this Battle Beast had people that previously really had no interest in collecting comics or collecting variants playing this game. But the price point for that one was it
was the exact price as the A cover or B cover or C cover or whatever.
If you just wanted to read the book and wanted to take a shot at something cool, you were still spending the same amount.
You also had a chance of getting the second issue.
It's true.
There were chances of other comics in there, so you could get a reprint of Marvel Team Up 14, which hadn't been reprinted since there was a graphic novel of it forever ago.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you couldn't get it without spending $100 or something on eBay.
The first appearance.
That's first Invincible and Spider-Man Team Up. And then there's the first appearance of Battle Beast was also in there, which is a very tough to get comic. So it was a really interesting idea, and it wasn't just that you were going to get a different cover of this thing. Now we're into the next stage of this, which is all the big publishers seeing this and being like, ooh. Not the Image isn't a big publisher,
right.
I do want to seeing this.
I do want to hit back on the potential of not getting the comic that you're wanting to buy.
Yeah.
We did have a few people that just wanted a copy, and they're like, okay, well, same price, I'll play the game. They get home, and it's like Marvel Team Up, and they're like, well, I just really wanted to read Battle Beast.
And I will say, we kept the stash we were swapping that out for a lot of people if they were unhappy with that.
And
so
we
were trying to make sure they opened it in store.
In store, for sure.
It made for a fun experience with our staff and customers having a good time, like opening stuff and seeing what they got.
So fun.
And trading. People were trading things and giving them away to other people. It was a really cool experience, and because they were $3 or $4, it made it like it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Fast forward to today. Now the A cover for this Batman #1 is $5.99.
Yeah.
So it's already more expensive. It is a larger comic, I think. Maybe not.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not, actually.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it's oversized.
So the price is up there, and then we hit the blind bags at $10, which are all foil versions of A through double Z cover, whatever they went to, which is completely insane.
And then you have the chase, the 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000. I think.
Yeah. So there's really rare stuff to be had out of there, but $10 presents a whole different. That's a whole different ballgame. That's almost 3 of the Battle Beast one in one shot there. And there's people who are like, I want 10 of them. And we're kind of like, what if you spent $100 on stuff you actually wanted to read or enjoy instead?
Yeah.
And again, we don't want to discourage somebody from getting something that they actually do want, but we are trying to discourage people like risking their money.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And ending up with a bunch of stuff you don't want. I think it's only a matter of time before we see a bunch of those.
So we saw a guy yesterday who we love open
10.
And how many did he get the same cover?
So he pulled 3 different covers out of the 10.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
And we pulled those 10. That's the same stack. It's not like they were randomized or anything. He didn't get unlucky with like we picked up a handful of different ones for different stuff. It was we just pulled 10 out of the box.
Yeah.
Put it in his box. Only gets 3 different covers. That's pretty rough.
That was hard. That was hard. Yeah, did not love that. But now there's blind bags for DCKO happening next month in October. There's blind bags for Ultimate Endgame. I'm not sure when that's happening. And Ninja Turtles issue 13 has one. Mark Spears, the Monsters prequel spinoff has blind bags too, so it's getting
outrageous.
Rampant.
And so and I think in one way this does pull in people. I think people that aren't necessarily coming into our store have seen these things on like TikTok and whatnot in different places, and they're like, I want to get a cool Batman bag to open. And so I do think in some ways it does pull people in that were not typically coming in. I've seen random people come in to buy a Batman blind bag #1. And hopefully they're picking up Batman Comic Arena and want to come back for #2. I don't know if that's going to be the case. What we're scared of is predatory publishing practices that basically get people to not want to enjoy comics anymore because they feel burned by some
and
thing.
I don't want this to turn into what Pokemon is currently.
Yeah.
I would love to play Pokemon right now, but I'm not going to drop a bunch of money on the current sets to keep up with the current meta. And I don't know. It's already $10. I would hate to see scalping and that kind of stuff happen to this too, and people feeding into it. I don't know. It's not a good feeling. It doesn't bring joy to my heart to...
Well, and it's part of it. It goes against kind of like the nature of our store is that we want to be community focused and oriented, and we're here for people. We want people to feel this is a safe, comfortable place for them to come in and spend time. Hopefully, it's their happy place. So if they're having a rough day, when they come through here, they're having a great day at the end of that. But B, we consider ourselves a bookstore.
Yeah,
we're a subscription, like serialized bookstore, and selling gimmicks is not a bookstore move. But we're also in a position that people want these things, and so trying to figure out how to navigate it is really difficult. And we want people to have cool, fun experiences. I do think that this concept is really cool, really fun. I just don't want to see it get abused. Yeah, I think we're treading on that for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll probably it'll plateau. I think right now it's kind of in vogue, but I think the more publishers do it, I think people are going to start, falling off of the hype train, and I'm sure it's expensive to make something like this happen.
Oh yeah, and I saw that. Man, it sounded like Robert Kirkman, who writes Battle Beast, created Invincible, all that stuff. He was like, if we had known what it was going to cost, we probably wouldn't have done this at cover for $4.
Yeah.
So there is that kind of stuff to it, but I think they're also willing to do things to be. They were doing it to make something fun and interesting, rather than to try to be like a huge financial success. Not that they don't want to make money,
right?
But that wasn't their goal. Was literally to be like, hey, this is like a big moment in comics. Let's celebrate with something kind of cool and wacky.
It definitely felt like more like, how do we get people to read our book than how do we just sell a bunch of stuff, I guess. Or a bunch of issue ones. This is still kind of related to blind bags. I want to talk about the video real quick. The blind bag cutting videos that I've done. I
had trouble going to sleep that day.
Oh no! I did one for Battle Beast. I paid for that one myself. That was like out of my pocket. That was my copy, and that's just what I decided to do with my book. The Batman one, that one was a damaged one that we had to destroy to send pictures to the distributors so that we could get replacements or credit back for it. And I kind of I know I won't probably do this again, but I would love to keep doing it every time they release a blind bag. More than anything, because well, these are comic books, you know, like it's something silly, and I think people have different ways of collecting. Like, I've already had so many people pick up a Batman one and they're like, I'm just gonna put it in a safe and forget about it. I'm never gonna open it.
It's true.
And in my mind, I think, well, how is that any different from what I did? I'm taking it out of circulation. Nothing's ever gonna be done with this book ever again. But I got a little bit of joy out of doing this and making something silly, something goofy, that probably entertained a few people. But you know, they're enjoying it.
Entertain a lot of people. I mean, most people really got a kick out of it, and a lot of people got real angry. Not a lot of people.
No,
a few people got real angry,
which I knew that was going to happen.
You know, one guy was pretty livid and said that, you know, he used some choice words and said that we were like, it was, I don't know, wrong of us to try to like make people angry for clicks or something. It was like, that's not really in our...
No, like...
That's not really what we were going for. We were just being goofy.
Yeah,
and especially that we had something that had to get destroyed anyways. Yeah. Might as well destroy it on camera.
Might as well make it fun. But yeah,
I think that's the fine line, too, between, like, are you here to collect find the rare variants and whatever, but also not being... I think people weren't aware in the video,
too, 100%.
That it was something that needed to be destroyed anyway.
For sure. And the variety of collectors, I guess, readers that we get here. Some people literally just roll up the comics as soon as they buy them and like shove them in their backpack. And you know, they're for collecting purposes. It's ruined, but they're so excited to just go enjoy them in their way, go read them on their lunch break, and just move on, hand them to someone else, trade them in, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a fun little silly thing. I would like to do it again. I probably won't. Because some people
might just need a disclaimer at the beginning or something.
There's a twinkle in his eye. He's going to do it again.
Look, if I pay for them, legally, that's my book. I can cut it.
You can do whatever you want to do with it.
I can do whatever I want.
You might just have to follow him on his personal
I was going to say,
I
can't just use the shop.
Jose Destroys Comics is his Instagram handle.
Yes. Tune in next week whenever inevitably another publisher drops a new blind bag, and I'll do it again.
But yeah, I think back to the other publishers doing stuff, the price points are ranging. Ninja Turtles is going to be the same. Is going to be cover price at $4.99. I'm all about it.
That's so fun.
I think when you're jacking up the price $4 for something is when you start to, like, it's 40% more is when you start to kind of get to where it's like, okay, this is and not quite as fun.
And they also released a really pretty looking foil at $8. You know exactly what you're getting
of the A cover.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and I mean you can get a variation of that in the blind bags. It's not exactly the same, but if I don't know, if it were me, I would just buy
it. I had appreciated for a good while there that DC was, for the most part, they were like, we got A, a B, and sometimes a 1 in 25. And now we're at like DC is like feeling it, and they're like, we got an A, a B, a C, a D, a E through H.
But they have been
1 in 25s, 1 in 50s.
They have been moving away from high ratio variants, which I do love. A lot of books, Batman only went up to a 1 in 50, which I thought was crazy.
That is really nice.
That's
because you get people who stop just stretching to order something and then they're just dumping it because they're like they don't have the capacity to sell 1,000 copies, but they wanted this 1 in 1,000 variant.
Yeah.
So it puts us back into where like the
there is a 1 in 1,000 in the blind bag.
There is,
right?
yeah. It's but you're not guaranteed one by ordering 1,000 copies, and I think this is, well, I mean it is still in a way inflating sales a little bit because people are buying multiples of the same exact book in hopes of getting something else. But I think shops in general are not stretching an outrageous amount, like, you know, to get those 1 in 1,000s. We are ordering what we think we are able to sell.
Yeah.
So I think our numbers, or, you know, the stuff we're buying reflects accurately to their sales. Like, we are hoping to move through all 1,000 copies or whatever we order, versus like buying a 1 in 1,000 or ordering for a 1 in 1,000 specifically for a customer and being stuck with 700 copies of a book that we have no idea what to do with.
Yeah, we ordered to actively grow readership and our customer base, but not to dump stuff on, you know. I mean, sometimes you have to.
Yeah. But
we're not typically ordering for that. We want to order what we can sell, and sometimes that's an awful lot of comics, and it's really exciting. But then you get these things where like you don't know how many you look at our data and like how many customers actually bought Batman #1 when you have multiple people buying all these different covers, and figuring out how to order #2 becomes much more difficult.
It skews it so heavily, and it's something we'll have to figure out. It's something that I think for the final order this week I already saw an issue with, and this is completely on our side. This isn't really something consumers will ever notice or anything, but I could feel myself getting confused in the future. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna order for this book or this other series because of the blind bags, because of...
Luckily in this case, if you don't know, we get PDFs of the comics before we have to put an order through, generally, on big books, especially like this. We get to read the comic, talk as a team about how we felt about it, and then we decide what we want to have on our shelves in an abundance and what we don't. And Batman #1, we ordered a ton because it's really cool.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's beautiful.
And we want to have a ton of copies, and we want to have it for a while so that people can have a new jumping on point to get in on the ground floor of a series, because that's exciting, and that's what we want to be a part of over here. So this book is both hitting our annoyances and covering all the bases at the same time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Also, issue 2, already read it. It's really good. So if you haven't checked out issue 1, check it out. Okay, I think that's enough blind bag talk. Do y'all, or I don't know how we're doing.
Yeah, you're at 18.
Okay, so I think we should talk about upcoming stuff for September.
We'll give a quick one, yeah.
There's some crazy stuff. I want to get the ball rolling with DCKO. Well, technically this isn't September. This is October, early October. But just about everybody in the shop has read the preview. They released an official bracket with all of the matchups, and we've all filled it out. We've all talked about it. We all have our winners. And I don't think I've ever been as excited for a universe-wide crossover event. Like, this is super cool. And I know this is not just in our shop, too. Like, the subreddit for comics and DC Comics has been blown up, and it's always discourse on the matchups and people posting their brackets, and there's genuinely a lot of excitement around this, and I'm...
Look, part of the culture of comic book stores is built off who would win discussions.
Absolutely, this is...
So if this is at least fun, that's all it needs to be, is fun, and they're nailing it. Like, it doesn't need to be the most compelling story ever. This should just be a good time, and it'll be really cool.
Yeah, as long as they give me a definite winner at the end of it, I'm so happy. I hope that, like, by issue 3, it doesn't become like we've broken out of the brackets and now we have to defeat the big bad all together. Like, I want there to be I want to know if I picked the right person.
Well, and it seems like that's the focus, is just that age-old question of who would win.
Yeah. The gloves are off, or on in some cases.
Well, I guess sticking with we're gonna transition Marvel and DC. We got Deadpool and Batman #1. Which I think will be followed up by Batman Deadpool #1.
In
so
November,
each comic company is getting their own release, basically, of a crossover setup. But this is going to be really cool. I didn't at first when they announced it. I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm on. I do really like Deadpool, but I was like, Deadpool Batman doesn't make sense as a team up. Really, it's I don't get this, but I think that they got a really good creative team on here with Zeb Wells and Capullo. But then we've got all these other backup stories where you got Daredevil and Green Arrow with Kevin Smith and Adam Kubert, Captain America, Wonder Woman, Zdarsky, and Terry Dodson. Like there's gonna be some really Jeff the Landshark and Crypto.
That's a match made in heaven.
This is gonna be cool.
Yeah. They have
Kelly Thompson. Like it's got
some
good
talent.
hero on this one. This is really solid.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. Dan Moore is drawing the Batman Deadpool one for DC, and I can't wait. It's gonna be gorgeous.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, this week this should be released the same week we recorded. So we have some bangers. We have Absolute Batman issue 12, which is brutal. It's a gut punch of an issue. It's so amazing. I haven't felt so much from a comic book in so long. And the same week, we have Daniel Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona's last issue of Transformers for Skybound. And it's also just a magnificent, like, just beautiful, epic conclusion to their 24-issue run.
We also have Punisher Red Band #1.
Yeah.
Vivian Percy's on this one. This should be really cool, and it's going to be nice to have Punisher back doing his thing. I mean, it's Red Band, so it should be brutal. I'm pretty excited for this one. We got Julius Oda on the artwork. And then we've got Murder Podcast, which is the first book of Ignition Press. I'm excited about this mostly because Philip Sablek, who I think I pronounced his last name right, he's a super cool dude who was running Boom Studios for quite a while. When Boom got purchased, he left and has now started up this Ignition, and so he's running this setup. The guy knows how to put together really good creative teams. He's headed up a lot of really amazing projects that Boom has done, and I think this is going to be some really cool stuff. But we got Jeremy Hahn on the writing on this one, and it looks completely nuts. We actually have some cool freebies to give out this week too, with some like earplugs. So they're doing really, instead of incentive variants, they're doing incentive like swag, I guess. I don't know. So it's they're doing some really cool concepts on the way that they're publishing this thing. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and Tom Taylor has a new book for DC. It's like a coming-of-age young adult story. It's Children of the Round Table. It's a modern Arthurian fantasy story with a bunch of kids that get weapons from Arthurian myth, and it's super fun. It's super bright, super colorful. Tom Taylor is such a joy. I love his stuff so very much, and yeah, this is very upbeat. It's very feel good so far. Anyway, we'll see. I think it's a short run too. I don't think it'll go for probably more than 6 issues, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there's been a lot of really cool stuff, and I think that this is going to be really nuts. Is we've got this insane X-Men crossover coming up that I haven't really wrapped my head around just yet, and I'm not sure how. I don't really know how people seem to feel about it, but orders are starting to kind of flow in. But I think it's fairly confusing as to what to read and when to read it and whatever's going on with this thing. So this should be interesting.
It's basically, if you're familiar with the old Age of Apocalypse crossover from the 90s,
yep,
where they rebranded all of the ongoing X-Men titles as this alternate future version of all the characters. This is an alternate, or it's like 10 years in the future, so I don't think I think it's technically in continuity or potentially in continuity, but it's like a 10-year time jump as opposed to like an alternate version, and just seeing where this potential future goes or whatever.
Yeah, I know Laura Kinney's dropped the name of Wolverine in 10 years and has taken up the name of Sabretooth.
Oh, yeah.
So that should be interesting, and a lot of the characters they got funky new outfits and weird new powers, and Rogue is 2 people. I don't know what's going on, but I'm excited for it because I have enjoyed a lot of the X-Men stuff lately, and so hopefully this will be really cool. Anything else you guys are pumped for?
I think those are the big ones.
I mean, yes, Godzilla's fighting the Ninja Turtles pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
So what's up with that?
Big lizards versus really big lizards.
Yeah, honestly, it should just be the Ninja Turtles survive while Godzilla destroys New York. Like they should have zero interaction, Because what are they supposed to do?
They're just trying to order pizza and Godzilla's destroying the city or something.
Like, it might as well be the three of us fighting Godzilla. Yeah. I mean, they're way stronger. They would crush the three of us, obviously.
But not Godzilla.
But they're teenagers fighting with some ninja powers, fighting ninja skills, not powers. Also, fighting Godzilla, come on.
I want to go on the record. I know turtles aren't lizards. They're reptiles, but...
Yeah, everyone was gonna roast you.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That,
hey, the right person hears about it, and then I'm done for. My reputation in the reptile community is done.
You're out of here.
You're out. Sweet, cool. I think this is a good,
yeah,
good, pretty all inclusive.
If you enjoyed this, let us know. If you've got questions about comic book stores or questions. How we feel about something or toys or whatever. Just shoot it to us, and we'll try to discuss whatever you guys ask. So
yeah.
We're not quite ask me anything, but we're not quite that.
Yeah. Please send us your questions.
Most things.
Ask us most things.
Yeah. You can send us your questions through our Instagram, Facebook. You can email them to me, Jose at mlcshop.com. And hopefully we can get around to answering them. Send us all your thoughts. Well, maybe nope. Don't do that.
Oh yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.